let's evaluate the following limits. So the first one is the limit of x squared minus 1 as x approaches 2. So how can we evaluate this limit? The first thing you want to observe is that x squared minus 1 is a polynomial, right? So this is a polynomial. So to evaluate a polynomial, you just plug in, the point where x is approaching. So to evaluate this limit, I just plug in x is approaching 2 in this case, right? So I just plug in 2 into the polynomial. 2 squared minus 1, this is just going to be 4 minus 1, and this is going to be 3. So and that's it for that. So that's a polynomial, that's it. Now, what about this one? Number 2, limit of 2x squared minus 8 over x minus 2 as x approaches 2. So are we going to plug in 2 also into this? Okay, let's see. Let's see. We plug in 2 just like the way we did number 1. So we have 2 into bracket 2 square minus 8 over 2 minus 2. So we get this is going to be 2 times 4 minus 8 over 0, and this is just going to be 8 minus 8 over 0, which is 0 over 0. And this is called indeterminate form because of the 0 in the denominator. So that's called an indeterminate form. So when you evaluate a limit and you get 0 in the denominator, because of this 0 in the denominator, we call that an indeterminate form. So when you get an indeterminate form, that tells you that that's the wrong way to evaluate that limit. So this is a wrong way. So we X this. This is wrong. So what's the correct way? What's the right way to evaluate this limit? So I'm going to write here, write the right way. What's the right way to evaluate this limit? So I'm going to copy that limit again. Copy, then I'm going to paste it here. So I did that wrong way because that's what some people might do. They just plug in the point where x is approaching and then they get something like an indeterminate form. No, so if you get an indeterminate form, you just look at it again. Maybe there is something, maybe there's a method I can use. So for this now, what's the right way we can do this? What's the right way? So I'm going to write limit as x approaches 2. Now, if you look at the numerator, I can write the numerator as 2x squared minus, I can write 8 as what? 2 times 4, right? That's it. So I can write 8 as that, 2 times 4, x minus 2, right? So now, if you look at the numerator, which is this part, right, the numerator, 2 is common to both terms. 2 is common to both terms in the numerator. 2 is common to, if you look here, there's a 2 there. If you look here, there's a 2 there. So I can factor out the 2, right? And factor out the 2. So I will have, I'll be left with, I have limit as x approaches 2. Factor out the 2. And then I'll be left with x squared minus 4, right? I'll be left with x squared minus 4, then I have minus 2, right? So yeah, I'll be left with that. And now how can if I plug in 2, I'm still going to get 0 in the denominator. So my goal here is I'm trying to get rid of the denominator so that I don't get 0 in the denominator. So how can I achieve that? Okay, so what I can do here is that I can use the difference of squares for the numerator, because the numerator, I can write the numerator write this term as x squared minus 2 squared over x minus 2. So 4 is the same thing as 2 squared, right? So instead of writing 4, I can write 2 squared. And that looks like the difference of squares. I'm going to write the difference of squares says that a squared minus b squared is going to be equal to a minus b, a plus b. So that's the difference of squares. So I can use that for the numerator. So I'm going to write this is going to be equal to the limit as x approaches 2 of 2, then I have x minus 2, x plus 2, right? Because um, because x squared minus 2 squared is just going to be x minus 2, x plus 2, using the difference of squares. So this is going to be over x minus 2, right? Now I can, oh, this should be a plus here, plus. So I can divide, there's something that can divide here, the numerator and the denominator, and that is x minus 2, x minus 2 can divide. So this is just going to be equal to the limit as x approaches 2 of 2, then I'm left with x plus 2, right? And now I can safely plug in 2 into that expression, 2 into parentheses x plus 2. So I'm plugging 2, so I have 2, and then I have 2. Anywhere I see x, I plug in 2. 2 plus 2 is just going to be 2 times 4, and this is going to be 8. And that will be it for that. That will be the answer, the solution. 8. That will be the solution. Yeah. Thank you. Please do subscribe if this helps. Thank you.